Drink alcohol-free beer at work and everyone thinks you are an alcoholic. Drink it at a bar and suddenly you are alcohol conscious. I mean, what's their problem? If I want to crack open a brewski whilst driving the school bus, then that's my concern. Because I don't want to get drunk, but I like urinating. Who drinks beer at work, besides people who work at breweries bars? I drink a lot of kombucha and have tried a lot of the alternative foreign healthy probiotic, flavored infused seltzer water-type drinks. I think we are very close to seeing a non-alcoholic beer being marketed as a health drink meant to be consumed all day. About the closest thing I've seen is hop water. The non-alcoholic beers on the market just need to rebrand and they'd be a hit. How is the average American coping right now when 61 of us are living paycheck to paycheck? Just wait for student loans and child care expenses to hit at the end of the month while interest rates continue to climb. People are not going to be okay for much longer. On one hand, times are tough. On the other hand, I go out to eat and the parking lot is full of shiny-ass trucks. You can't claim you're barely making ends meet while driving a Raptor. This situation may feel unusual, but historically, almost everyone I've known over the last 60-something years has lived paycheck to paycheck. In my life, it has been unusual for anyone to have savings or room on their credit card. And it sucks. It sucks to live that way. I was having dinner with my boss and his wife said, "How many potatoes would you like?" I said, "Oh, I'll just have one, please." She said, "It's okay. You don't have to be polite." What's a potato? A boy is trying to sell fish, so he screams, "Damn fish. Get your damn fish here." A pastor walks up and asks, "Why are you using bad language?" The boy explains that he caught them at the local dam. The pastor buys one and takes it home and tells his wife to cook the damn fish. She says, "I didn't know pastors talk like that," so he explained it to her. Later at the table, he says to his wife, "Pass the damn fish," and the son says, "That's the spirit, Dad. Pass the fucking potatoes." How many people a potato could eat? That's the real question. How many potatoes can one person eat? Mrs. O'Malley, who lived in a seaside town, was continually annoyed by the seagulls. I have a friend who does the best ever seagull can't do the noise. He just nicks your chips and shits on your car. Rockin', and rollin' single quotes down to the beach. I'm strolling, but the seagulls poke at my head. Not fun. I said, "Seagulls, stop it now." Lol, that's actually really cute and made me smile. There's a variation of this joke where, at the end, instead of seagulls, the priest says the English, which is delightfully devilish. Jimmy Carter created the Mental Health Systems Act of 1980 to establish mental health facilities in communities across America. It was promptly repealed in 1981 by incoming President Reagan. Jimmy Carter also put solar panels on the White House and Reagan got rid of them. Reagan did a lot of messed up shit. I was too young to understand at that time how much. Reagan is possibly the worst president in American history in terms of policy and administrative moves, and I'm not sure it's close. Pokémon Red and Blue from 1998 was originally going to have over 65,000 versions of the game, all slightly different, so the chances of finding someone with the same game as you are nearly impossible. 65,000 feels suspiciously close to 65,536. I'm sure all this means is they were going to have a random hard-coded seed that would subtlety change different aspects of the game, like spawn rate, etc. Man, I can only think of like for colors. But I don't want pink version, Dad. Don't be silly, son. That's translucent red, it's very rare. All about Jin Zusen, an early scientist at Jet Propulsion Lab who was later accused of being a communist and was deported to China, where he helped start that country's satellite and rocket industries. A move AU as Secretary of Navy later said was the stupidest thing this country ever did. This what racism and paranoia gets you. The Galsit's staff, most notably Jen and Jack Parsons, over ideological concerns during the establishment of JPL, while simultaneously bringing on Nazi scientists like von Braun, is frankly infuriating. The other night, I was invited out for a night with the girls. I told my husband that I would be home by midnight. I promise. Well, the hours passed and the margaritas went down way too easy. Around 3 a.m., a bit blitzed, I headed for home. Clearly this joke is fake. Women do not fart. This guy knows how to marriage. Thumbs up. I got mixed up and thought I was on our 2s and 10s her, wondering why it was so long and when I'd be scared. Is it not a repost if the genders are reversed? Now this chick thinks she keyek. Call me immature, but the tripped over the cough table and farted part is what really killed me. Long but funny. Three rough-looking bikers stomp into a truck stop. If that guy sitting with the biker's name is Seabass, a biker walks into a bar, sits next to a man, and gulps down his entire beer. The man bursts into biker says, "Geez man, I did not mean to make you cry. What's wrong?" The man says, "Today was the worst day of my life. I was fired from my job. My wife left me and took the kids. My dog died. And just as I put poison in my beer to kill myself, you walked in." Elephant ears are large and full of veins which help keep them cool in heat, and they're wide. Padded feet allow them to walk quietly despite their large size. Till that, Tobey Maguire was briefly fired as Spider-Man for faking an injury. Jake Gyllenhaal was already in place. "Parker, you're fired." "Chief, Gyllenhaal is asleep." "Oh right, you're unfired." Tobey pretended to have a back problem to negotiate better pay. That's why in Spider-Man 2, when Peter loses his powers mid-swing, he falls down and goes, "Ow, my back." I read somewhere he's afraid of heights, which really made filming Spider-Man scenes hard. Instead, Gyllenhaal famously went on to replace Vinny Chase in Aquaman 2. What's a stance you have no empathy or understanding for? Social media influencers who exploit the fuck out of their kids. I can't deal with people who are smug about not understanding something. Saying you're blunt, but you're actually just openly being an asshole. I think my suffering is worse than your suffering, so your suffering doesn't matter. Dog fighting. When someone staunchly refuses to believe something even after you've provided them with copious amounts of evidence from numerous credible sources to prove what you've just told them. What's your comfort YouTube channel? Tasting History with Max Miller. He does the research to pull an old recipe together and then recreates it. He'll even make the ingredients of ancient times, and has started growing his own herbs that aren't US dominant. I find his dedication and success an enjoyable watch since I started watching him from the beginning for no reason. As an 18th century, I love him so much. Defunctland. Steve Wallace. Post 10. A wholesome guy that works with the state Massachusetts and Good Samaritan. Nothing more exciting than watching a storm drain get unclogged. Ethislab, Minecraft YouTuber. I don't even play the game anymore, but still tune into his stuff. Girl with the dogs.